At one point last year, you did a podcast with Tekashi and Wack100.
Right.
Why did academics put the three of you together?
I think it started off with me and Tekashi first, because before I even spoke to Ak, Tekashi, he found me on YouTube and he reached out to me, and then he started telling academics, yo, this is YouTuber that's coming up and I think he's better than you. That's what he told Ak. So Ak reached out to me, and eventually Wack100 reached out to me, and next thing you know, I guess Wack kind of in the beginning like took a liking to me because of how controversial I was, and I was going at all these New York dudes. And the same with Tekashi, he had his issue with certain guys, and I was, going at certain guys. So it was like there was no fear there. So I guess he liked it.
Okay. And after that interview, you and Wack100 had a phone call, and you ended up recording the call and leaking it out.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've heard you mention a couple of times, Vlad TV is one of the biggest platforms. I don't know why they've never had me on. This is why I never had you on, because of that phone call. I've had that done to me multiple times, and I think it's grimy, to have a personal phone call with somebody and have the person secretly record it and then post it publicly. And I'm just being honest with you. You said that there's a gay sex tape and shit like that.
Yo, Vlad, one thing you better not never do is question what come out of my mouth. You worth a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I got $5 million. You want to bet?
I know. I'm not going to bet you.
No,
I'm not
Vlad,
going to bet you.
Fuck it. Let's break it down to me some punk million. I got $1 million.
Okay.
Do you want to bet?
I'm not going to bet you.
Vlad,
but
no. Because you said, right, and it didn't come out of my mouth. Hassan Campbell recorded the conversation and released it.
That's where it came out.
It's only because of me that the damn tape still ain't came out today. And all these fake dudes, your guy, Big U, who begged me to release the tape, who begged me to attack Nipsey's goddamn estate. And I got it on the phone. I blow this shit up, but I know you fuck with him, right?
Shout out to Big U.
Right?
I'm cool with Big U.
Yeah, but don't matter. Facts is fact. To attack the Nipsey Hussle estates because for his 30%, I said, yo, bro, he was just alive. You wasn't dealing with that. Wack, let me slide it to you. You go at it. I'm not doing it. Release the tapes. I'm not doing it. But anybody want to challenge me to these you notice that the first baby mama who's starring in these tapes has never one time said Wack100 is lying. I didn't want it to come out. Hassan Campbell released it. Right. They asked me about it. Well, I come from a power rule. What you say once, you say twice. So when they asked me about it, what you want me to say? No, I didn't say it. I'm not finna do that. This is what it is.
Absolutely.
Why'd you do that?
Because Wack100 was one of the most wickedest, foulest dudes that I've ever came across, and I knew he was playing me the whole time. Like, when you listen to the phone conversations and the things that he was saying, some of these people was his friends. When you sitting up there and you telling me how you set Oscar De La Hoya up, and I'm thinking to myself, like, who does this? That's not my style. I don't move like that. Who does this? So you set Oscar De La Hoya up. You sit up there. You got a sex tape on Nipsey Hussle. I knew the whole time Wack was playing me. I'm a street dude. Now you ask yourself a question. I've been on the phone with a bunch of A-list celebrities. You've never seen me do that to anybody else. So now, me talking to him and me listening to him in the foulness, right? Because nobody brags about being foul. But when you listen to those conversations that I taped with him, he was all the way foul. And I said I would never play those tapes, right? there's only one other person that I taped, and I never put that conversation out because we was going through an argument. And he's a tough guy, and I'm not even going to say his name because I wanted to make sure that he would never sit up there and say that he was just talking to me in the kind of way over the phone because I ain't scared of him. And we was going back and forth on each other. But outside of that, never released no conversation, never taped anybody. It's not my style. But for some reason, I had somebody in my ear telling me like, yo, you need to record him. And it went against who I was, and I recorded it. And sure enough, now if I wouldn't have recorded him, niggas would have never seen how foul he was.
Look, me and Wack100 just did an interview, but for 10 years we had some level of beef. You know, I didn't rock with him. We had a situation 10 years ago over the phone where, you know, we talked about in an interview where he started talking crazy to me, and I'm like, yo, I'm good. So at that time, me and Wack were not in a good space. But even though we weren't, I was still like, I don't like this. I don't like the fact that someone's getting secretly recorded and the situation came out. So like, for example, in my interview that I did with him that's going to come out, I think tomorrow, Sunday. We talked about that situation. I'm like, oh, okay, you accused Nipsey Hussle of being gay. He goes, well, no, I didn't publicly say it. I was recorded by Hassan Campbell, and he put that out. And, you know, that's how that whole story came around. And then ultimately he has to deal with the repercussions of it. But once again, I understand someone may be foul and they're saying some foul things that you may not like, but ultimately that's a private conversation between the two of y'all. And like I said, I'm not a fan of you doing that. And this is why, even though you're doing big numbers and everything else like that, I was like, I don't rock with that type of thing because it's happened to me. You know, like I spoke about how Turk, you know, me and Turk had a little bit of a disagreement. We got on the phone. I explained my side to him. I even said, hey, I'll bring you back on. You know, I'll even throw you some money and everything else like that. Come to find out after that interview was done that he had recorded that phone call and put it out. And that's why I don't rock with Turk anymore. Right. Because it's just like, yo, once you start recording phone calls, then no one will ever feel safe talking to you again over the phone. You see what I'm saying?
I absolutely agree with it. And if I was on the opposite side of the screen talking to myself, I would feel the same exact way that you feel. I do not agree with people recording people's phone conversations. Absolutely not. But that was the one time where I felt like it was just necessary dealing with who I was dealing with. Wack is the epitome of evil. What I would say, the things that I've heard, how he moved, the things that he does to people, just going out of his way to destroy people's lives, like even to the point where when he went to Castle Hill Projects and started taking pictures outside of Hocus 4/5's home, where he was raised at, to taunt him. Like I've never seen a millionaire so miserable.
Look, me and Wack are in a decent space right now. And, Wack does a lot of things for, on the internet, and he's built up a following with it. At the end of the day, you could have a disagreement with someone and you could think that person's foul. And, if you don't like that person's character, you could always separate yourself from that person. Like I said, me and him didn't talk for 10 years. For 10 years, me and him did not talk, and we were around the same people and everything else like that. But we ultimately got on the phone and we worked it out. But at no point did I ever record a phone call. Did he record a phone call? Anything else like that? Because once you cross that line, you can't come back from that line again. You know what I'm saying? Like if you and I ever had a phone conversation, I would think he's probably taping it. Whether you're taping it or not.
But see, the crazy part about it is, you see how you feel about that? He doesn't feel that way about that. He just called me on the phone when he got into the situation with Hocus 4/5. As a matter of fact, he called me. I was just touching down in South Carolina. I had just made it to South Carolina, and he was on the phone with me, just kicking it like everything was all good. Like it didn't matter to him because it's all entertainment. But for me, it wasn't entertainment because my whole thing is that as soon as I leave you, you know, we did the interview. It was a good interview. We all was laughing and just having a good time. And the very next day, you get on the Clubhouse and tell everybody on Clubhouse you was bragging about you know, Africa Bambaataa. He told them that that's why Africa Bambaataa fucks you. He never said that to me in my face. If he would have said that to me in my face while we was together, it would have been on and popping right there. And he knows that. I mean, Tekashi had an army with him, but I had niggas with me too, and I wouldn't have accepted that. And my whole thing is, for you to sit up there and think that it's funny that I'm being molested, that's why I put that audio out, because that was a line of crossing where there's no coming back. I don't respect anybody that thinks it's funny or something funny about a man molesting a child.